Hey guys, it's Spaces Sims, and we are back with more Charade Maniacs, continuing our descent into Dazai's route. We can skip here, so I'm gonna just start skipping while we talk. We're still in the common route, but we are heading to Dazai. When do they? When do they? Oh, don't go and wake him up. That was for Akase, right? Yeah, okay. So when did we? I guess we returned to my room to prepare. Holy shit. When did we do the split where everyone gets put in quarantine? Because I feel like that's still gonna happen. Because like it's weird that it would have changed in Gyobu's route, but I feel like for Gyobu, Dazai, and Haiji, that's always gonna be the case. But I feel like we should have gotten there. But anyway. I should go back to my room and get ready. Then I'll go outside and look around the places I haven't visited too often. After I got ready, I returned to the living room and came across Dazai. He was also about to go out. Dazai, are you going out somewhere?
Yeah, I was thinking of looking around outside, but
But what? What's wrong?
no, if you're free, how about we go together?
Sure, I haven't decided on where to go, so it's actually perfect.
Oh, really? Well then, shall we?
Where are you planning to go? Dazai hesitated for a moment, then he looked straight at me.
To the school.
Interesting. Dazai wasn't the kind to say much. It was rare for him to say anything, but he was even quieter in that moment. As we walked the path to the school, he sometimes looked toward me. Dazai, the school that you attend, I forgot the name already, but where's your school?
That's along the Otonari line.
Otonari line. Hey, I did pretty good on that.
You probably wouldn't know where that is.
Right. Oh, by the way, did you find the memo that you said was lost?
No.
I wonder where it went. So strange.
Yeah.
What's going on? He's not in a bad mood, is he? I thought he was acting normal just earlier. Yeah, he's one-word sentencing us.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
We were walking in silence, so we got to the destination immediately. Wow, if you walk in silence, you get there immediately? If it's a mile away, it's like immediate? As I stood by the school gates and continued to be quiet, he seemed to be staring at something. Did you find anything?
No. I don't see anyone there, so I assume it's deserted.
Seems that way. An empty school feels kind of creepy.
True. But it's also scary if there are tons of Arcadians in there.
Huh? Seems to be back to normal. Maybe it was just my imagination.
And during the dramas, we're moved around to different places for each scene, and maybe that classroom's in the school.
That could be true. We always get moved to familiar places like the park or streets nearby. Do you want to go inside to check? Dazai?
Oh, sorry. I know I invited you to come with me, but I don't feel like it right now.
What's wrong? You're acting a bit strange today. Do we know how old Dazai is? I can't remember. But, like, I'm wondering, it's like, oh, yeah, you wouldn't know where my school is. Is it because he doesn't want to say that he goes to school with us and we forgot him? You know what I mean? Like, Yobu, we're like, what class are you in? He's like, no, because he's never gone to school. Like, you know what I mean? And, like, Abana was in the other classroom or whatever, but everyone forgot Dazai, so it... Remember, didn't we say when we were talking to Gyobu, oh, the seat by the window, that's always been empty. Was it always empty, or was it Dazai's seat? And we forgot that he was, like, our classmate, and he's just being like, yeah, nope, yeah, uh-huh. Pretending like he goes to some other school because he doesn't want to tell us, because then we're like, wait, what? And then we'll know that, you know what I mean? Like, he's just keeping that, like, oh, why are you hiding everything, you poor sweet thing? Anyway, what's wrong? You're acting a bit strange today.
When I look at the school, it reminded me of school back home. I want to go back soon.
Yeah, me too. Although I desire that less and less as I get more used to life here. We were about to go on summer vacation, but then we got caught up in this mess. I want to go home too.
Yeah.
We conversed while looking at the school. Then we heard a cute sound near us. I feel like him like, oh, looking at this school makes me want to go miss my school and I want to go back because he's also was here the prior time and everyone forgot him. So like his desire to go back is a little bit stronger than the rest of us, you know? Meow. Oh, a cat. It walked in front of us, so I crouched down to match its line of sight. There are cats in this world too. Come here. Where'd you come from? Meow. Ew. The cat approached me, and right when I was about to touch its chin, Dazai stopped me from behind. Why is Dazai freaking out? Look, there's a little kitty.
Did you forget? There aren't any proper living creatures here. Don't touch things so carelessly.
Sorry. Right. It was so cute I couldn't help it. Is it an Arcadian in cat form? I'm just saying, if Arcadians used to be people who died on the moon base thing or whatever and turned into, then it makes sense that they would have had cats and kids and stuff, you know what I mean? That's why there was the pulp there that was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, that would really work.
Even if it's cute, you'll regret touching it. You should think a little more before acting.
Yeah, because it's an Arcadian version of a cat. Yes. Sorry.
Well, glad you understand.
Oh, it's a CG, by the way. Did I not tell you? And I was like, because I'm like, look, the cat's so cute. Like, it's just the corner of its head. But like, sorry, I forgot. But here you go. Oh. I'm just going to stop for a minute, just in case for those who, oh, wait, CG otherwise. If for some reason it disappears in the next line, you can rewind a little. Dazai's tone became progressively depressed as he whispered to me. I knew that he put his arm around my shoulder to stop me, but I was very conscious of it.
Sorry.
Dazai didn't do it on purpose, since it was done in the spur of the moment. He came to his senses and let go of me, and now he's blushing. Meow. Realizing that it wouldn't get attention from us, the cat cried out sadly before departing. Aww! I know it's probably a squishy alien kitty, but just fucking pet the damn cat!
It wasn't right for me to touch you like that. Like, should have just said something.
But it's like someone knows that Dazai likes cats and put a cat out. You know what I mean? This seems a little sus. You were just trying to stop me, so I don't mind it at all.
No, but I mind. I'm really sorry.
We both turned bright red as we inched away from each other. I thought I was being too self-conscious, but I felt relieved that Dazai felt the same. So there are ones that resemble cats. I thought there'd only be ones that are like people.
Right. I thought they wouldn't exist here, but there they are.
Oh, but there are.
Albeit there are very few of them. That did look cute.
Dazai, so you thought it was cute too?
Well, as a cat. If I didn't know what it really was, then I'd have gone to pet it too.
I couldn't help but laugh when I heard that. That was because I could easily imagine Dazai being overjoyed while petting a cat. I swear to God, if we don't get like a CG where we're back home and he's just... We bring him to a cat cafe and he's just covered in cats.
Don't laugh. What's wrong with petting cats?
It's not that. I just thought you were cute too.
That's not right. You can only say that for yourself and cats.
Huh?
Wait, no. I don't feel so good today.
I just think you're cute. You can't say that. You can only say you're cute and cats are cute. Wait. Shit. I need to leave. Oh, he thinks we're cute. And we think he is cute. Oh my god. Should we try holding hands again? Oh my god, we can't. We're too embarrassed. You don't feel good? It was rare to see Dazai so flustered, so I wanted to laugh, but I tried my best not to, out of consideration for him. You're like, he's so flustered and adorable. Like, he really is.
Speaking of which, I realized something. That's about the Information Bureau.
Okay.
Don't look at me like the topic change was too forced.
But it was.
No, I was going to talk about it anyways. So, about the Information Bureau.
Dazai returned to his usual self, and he talked about his theories sincerely.
After our talk the other day, we concluded that the Information Bureau couldn't eliminate the Otherworld stream because it was too tough. So I thought about the reason why on my own. About why they can't stop the stream. At first, there's a chance that the Otherworld stream exists, in a realm the Information Bureau has no influence over.
A realm?
It could be overseas or at a remote location where the Information Network can't reach. But this isn't realistic. Even if Japan's Information Bureau had no influence, there are no loopholes in...
Is NOIRC Noric? Norks? Anyway, I don't know what the NOIRC is supposed to... I forgot. But anyway, in their network.
Even if there was, something of this scale wouldn't go unnoticed. And they're able to continue the stream because they're using some other form of network.
Okay. Is this really okay? Am I really able to keep up? The topic is getting more difficult to understand, but Dazai continues anyway.
But if there's a problem on the side of the Information Bureau, then things would be different.
What problem?
The Otherworld stream is the sponsor that assists with them.
That assists with them?
You heard about it, right? And that's the suspicious part.
Sponsor? You're saying the sponsor did something to the Information Bureau?
They were influenced in some way. Or perhaps... And what if the sponsor was a member of the Information Bureau?
I don't think Chigasaki or Futami ever worked for the Information Bureau, though. But we do kind of know, like, from Miyochi's route, that the Information Bureau is like, yeah, we can't shut down the stream. So it seems like they might have a mole inside, you know?
They could slip through the network to abuse it somehow.
Huh. Then even if we find a way to contact the Information Bureau for help, we might not get it?
I don't know about that, but we should consider that possibility.
Dazai's unexpected warning left me speechless. I thought we'd be okay if we could find a way to... I'm sorry. I thought I could do that without yawning in your ear, but I couldn't. Anyway, a way to contact the Information Bureau. And nothing's guaranteed. That's why we've been imprisoned in this world for such a long time. My thoughts continued down a negative spiral, but it was Dazai who got me out of it.
Sorry for worrying you, but I don't want you to believe in something only to be hurt by it later. I understand what Akase wanted to say about wanting to believe in everyone. I also feel the same way. But you can't let your guard down. Until the day we can reach out to our world, everything must be looked at with suspicion.
I'll let my guard down. Dazai finished what he wanted to say. He saw my depressed expression remain, so he patted me on the back.
But you can trust me.
I feel like saying, you can trust me, is something that someone says when you can't trust them, but I'm going to take it as face value, and I'm going to say I can, because I don't want to not trust you, so that might bite me in the ass later. Maybe you're trying to get my guard down.
That's the spirit. Go ahead and doubt me. I don't believe in you.
Ugh, now I'm confused.
Sorry.
After we finished talking, Dazai and I decided to return to the lodging. On the way back, Dazai turned to look at the school, and I wondered what was on his mind. Would you like to check inside the school?
No, I'm fine.
His gaze left a strong impression upon me, and I thought about what that meant as we returned. Because he's like saying, oh, the school, but the thing is like, going to any school, like think about it. If you go to any random school, it's not yours. You might be like, nah, I remember my high school days or whatever, sure. But it's almost like the way he's looking at this, because this looks just like our school. Like, oh my God, it looks just like my school. Weird, right? You know what I mean? What are the odds? And then Dazai's looking at it, it's like, oh, it reminds me of my school. It reminds you of your school, which is this school, which is the same school we go to. I'm putting that on my theory board, okay? Like, I kind of feel like Dazai is that person who sits by the window, that missing chair. I think it was the window seat, or we're second from the window. That other one by the window is like always empty because it was Dazai's. Anyway. Oh, there's this fucker. And there are times, like when he does a side profile and he looks at you with those sus eyes, and then he squints sometimes, and you're like, you definitely don't look like a, you know, an elementary school kid. Which, I mean, I kind of pegged from the very beginning, the first time we saw Spready, then I'm like, see, when he does that side profile spread, he looks like everyone else. He doesn't have that little baby face that weirds me out. You know what I mean? Also, again, the front-facing sprites are just terrible. For most of the cast, and Haiji's one of them. It's just terrible. But when he does this little, like, side, like, staring at with you with those eyes, you're like, okay, right there, he looks like a normal teenager. And then all of a sudden, it's like, he's 12, and you're like, bullshit. Like, bullshit. That was, like, the first red flag. Anyway, I wonder if there's still sparklers left. Dazai sat down by the flower bed while he stared at the sparkler fireworks in silence. Dazai? Hmm? That sparkler firework is... Oh. He was holding it sideways so the fireball dropped and was extinguished. He sat next to Dazai and lit up a sparkler in the same way. I don't want to say sparkler firework, sparkler firework. But yes, a sparkler is a firework. We don't have to... you don't need to say both. I don't know why it was bothering me, but it just is. If you hold it straight, it'll last longer. Here, like this.
Right.
What's wrong? You're awfully quiet.
Compared to Akase, yeah.
That may be true, but you seem different from usual.
I've forgotten what's usual. I've forgotten it since I've come here. For a long time.
Yeah, because he's been here for a while. This isn't his first rodeo. A long time?
No, I think I've been here all along. Don't you feel the same? This suffering seems to drag on forever.
Look, he's getting a little, emo on us. Dazai, something's on your mind. We can talk. Don't push yourself like this.
Right. That would have been so much easier if I could tell you everything.
Akase cock-blocking us. I noticed footsteps and looked up to find Akase there. He was no longer smiling as he quietly looked down at Dazai. Akase? That's the last of the sparkler fireworks. I guess that's it then.
We already had enough fun. That's about time.
Right, we better get back to reality. Dazai looked away from Akase as he slowly stood up. Hold on, mine's still going. It's not extinguished yet. The big fireball shook a bit as red sparks flew from it. Then it was swallowed up by the darkness. It's weird that Akase came over. He's like, oh, it's the last firework. Okay, we're done. But the way he, it said he frowned down at Dazai, huh. Why doesn't he like Dazai? It all started with a single drama. There were numerous extreme dramas. Sometimes people ended up getting hurt. That's something I experienced personally. This drama, however, was terribly cruel. It was the most painful to watch when compared to all the others. I had to stop watching it midway through. Oh. Upon returning from the drama, Akase was pallid as he looked down at his own hands. I noticed that his right hand was still shaking. Phew. Chigasaki wasn't acting normally either. He caught his breath and closed his eyes in relief after making sure all his parts were there.
Are both of you alright?
The thing is this is different because we're not skipping, but I think this is the point. But are we going to have a totally different split off for each person? For Dazai, for Gyobu, and for Haiji? A different end to the common route? That seems... Because Chapter 8 is part of the common route. It's not Dazai's route. Plus, remember, we have to choose someone, don't we? Didn't we choose in this one? When we went down Gyobu, but it's interesting that it's starting slightly different. Anyway. Iochi watched the stream from the kitchen, but decided to come to the living room. I don't believe they're alright, but I didn't watch until the end, so I can't say anything. Akase and Chigasaki took part in a drama in which Akase had to murder Chigasaki's character during the act. Akase punched and strangled Chigasaki, and that's when I turned off the screen. Yeah. Akase held down his own arm. He looked like he would rip it from its socket out of hate. Akase, I'm fine. And don't worry about it. That was all part of the act. Even if it is an act, that was... Wow, the drama was terrible. He punched and strangled him and then hid the evidence. It's one of the harsher ones we've seen yet. Yoya, are you okay? Were you crying a bit at the end? Wouldn't you be? Especially if you had to punch and strangle poor fucking Chigasaki. I know he's a sponsor, but he's just such a sweet little thing. So the drama really was as bad as I thought.
You, come with me.
Huh? Why? Yobu said things he wasn't supposed to and was dragged off by Dazai for it. Akase remained silent.
Oh, you should forget about this. You finished that tough drama already. Don't let that effort just go to waste.
Right. We got a lot of points from it, so let's assume we're that much closer to going home. Akase, I'm sorry for what happened, but just don't let it get to you. It's best to just forget it. I'm sorry. Go into my room. Akase,
This is tough, all right. I thought he was stronger deep down.
anyone would end up like that if they had to take on his role in that drama.
True. I think we should consider what we need to do from here on out.
Akase was usually cheerful. He would guide us down our path with unrelenting strength. At the very least, that's what I thought. Even if there was a traitor among us, Akase declared he'd believe in his friends. We've read this, though. Something very similar. I sympathized with his way of thinking and thought that I'd believe the same. But I never knew the day would come when that would all crumble away. I really hope we don't have to go down the exact same... We're going down the same shit. I don't want to go down the... I don't like this. I don't want to have to read, like, an entire chapter... Well, I mean, I feel like there was a lot once we split everyone off. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not as bad because I cheated. I scrolled up to see chapter 8. Yeah, we have that last choice doesn't matter. And then there you choose Dazai and then so it's only in this chapter, but it just seems weird that each person as the end of the common route is going to be different. Among the three of them, I really would have felt they would have had the same end of the common route type of a thing, you know? Seems weird, because we spent a lot of time going back and forth, What was the point of that? Before we chose Yobu, you know what I mean? Anyway. Just as I was about to go back to my room, I heard someone shouting. It's coming from another room. Couldn't tell what they were saying, but it seemed to be an argument. I stopped to look around and I heard the voice again. Is this Dazai's room? Again, we've had this. I took a step forward and the door opened violently. However, it was Akase who came out of Dazai's room. It looked like something was wrong as he kept his mouth tightly closed. Akase? Dina, I have something to tell everyone right now, so come to the living room. I may be different because I don't think in this one we found the custody list, so we can't mention it. But everything else has been very much the same, and I don't like that we have to, like, reread all of it again. Like, that bugs me. I don't like rereading the same shit over and over. After talking to me, Akase went to the others' rooms to talk to them. This is the same. Is he trying to gather everyone? What's he trying to do? Dazai then slowly exited the open door. Because he's gonna do the same thing. Our eyes met briefly, but then he went to the living room as if nothing had happened. Slowly, everything began to change. Everyone gathered in the living room, and Akase stood at the center of it. Everyone knew that it was serious, considering how Akase appeared when he gathered them. I know that everyone has their own secrets. Everyone listened in silence as he spoke. I've also kept my own secrets from everyone, and I think it's fine for everyone to have a few secrets. So there's no need to reveal everything. Sure, there are things you don't want to talk about. I understand that. But it's different when it causes someone to be hurt or when it becomes betrayal. Betrayal? The word echoes in my mind. Akase was entirely serious as he stared off into the distance. I want to believe in everyone, but whenever someone takes the punishment game or is hurt, I don't really know anymore. Or if I hurt someone myself... Is it really fine to let the culprit who put this all together just roam free? Should I just trust and do nothing? Trust them and do nothing, sorry. Do I continue to believe no matter how much I'm betrayed? Is that really what's going to save everyone here? I don't know. I want to know the answer. Can I believe in you? Can I continue believing in you? Tell me, Dazai. This is exactly the same shit we read. The only difference is we didn't find the custody list this time. Because we've only found it in Ibana's route and in Gyobu's. But it's kind of fucking annoying because we're reading and doing the exact same shit. That's the only difference. They could have skipped and then had to pop out and go, oh, blah, 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 the custody list, and changed a couple of lines and not forced us to sit through reading the exact same fucking shit. I don't know, it bugs me. We all turned toward Dazai when we heard his name. Like, we already kind of know how this goes. Dazai remained silent. He looked down as we all focused on him. If you aren't going to say anything, then you're prepared to take the blame for it. Dazai? Dazai doesn't respond. Akase hurriedly took a memo out of his pocket and laid it on the table for everyone to see. Paper was creased, it had been folded. There was tape on the four corners and it had been ripped off haphazardly. Okay. Huh? This is... And I know this is different because, like, whatever. I just feel like they could have skipped the shit that we already kind of... I don't know.
A wet memo. There was a memo taped to the underside of the top board of my desk drawer in my room, so it took a while to find it.
It was taped? There's a sponsor in this world, separate from the producer. And the sponsor is a fanatic. That's fantastic again. Careful. They just copy and paste that! They copy and motherfucking paste that line and it's wrong every time and it's driving me bonkers. It's so fucking dumb. Anyway, the bouncer can tell you, okay, we already wrote, whatever. Who wrote that?
I don't know, but it was probably someone who used this room in the past. And they were likely a cast member.
Cast member? So it's a warning from the past. Yeah, that memo. I think that after that it was...
I see. If you haven't seen it, then that's fine.
Yeah, I wonder where it went. Maybe it slipped through the cracks.
Maybe. Well, alright then. Good night.
Good night. As I said, the memo disappeared after that. So he found it then? Some of you seem to recognize it. It's the memo that Dazai said he found in his room a while ago. I remember that. It was discovered when our team went to do some information gathering. I thought the info had already been shared. There's a sponsor in this world separate from the producer. And the sponsor is a fanastic. Be careful. Fucking A! It's actually aggravating, but funny in a way. It's aggravatingly funny, but it's still slightly aggravating. Like, Jesus Christ. The bouncer can tell you the details again. Okay, yeah. Okay, we don't have to keep reading the goddamn note. This is the 5th time we've done it. So there's a person called the sponsor, and the bouncer is supposed to answer any questions about them. Right. I felt that the information was important, but at the same time a bit of doubt had surfaced. Who wrote the memo, and who hid them in Dazai's room? Didn't we come to the conclusion that it was a previous cast member? Don't you think it's a little strange? Every corner of this place has been cleaned when we first arrived. There wasn't a single trace of previous cast members anywhere to be found. Would it be possible that the producer's side couldn't find the memo because it had been hidden from them? For the sake of the argument, let's assume that's true. Let's assume that the memo happened to not get cleaned out. Then how would the memo have been written? Where's the memo's pen, paper, and the tape that was attached to? Before there were talks about this memo being discovered, I saw a core in the trash when I went to Dazai's room. And oh, know all this. Anyway, yeah, tape thing. Okay, sure. I vote for Dazai's room.
Hey, don't just go and decide on my room. Well, whatever. Cleaning up will be a pain.
I know, but it's better to take out the garbage off it, and your trash can's completely full. Oh yeah, you can see the little ring of tape in there.
You made my room the gathering place, and you're saying that now. I'll throw it out later.
I thought it was odd for him to have so much trash. I teased him about it, but Dazai just reacted in a strange way. What, being like, oh my god, stop picking on my trash? That's not a strange way. Then the next time I went to his room, his trash can was empty. That by itself isn't strange. But maybe that was what happened. Would have been different in the past, but life today has been mostly digitized. The government discouraged making trash. Things like pens, paper, and tape aren't completely banned. They're still sold in stores. However, they're rarely used anymore, so it's natural we haven't seen any. Ugh. I just hate this. It's exactly motherfucking the same. Skip to where it changes, like, for fuck's sake. I don't know why, like, I know it's been, like... It hasn't been that long, honestly, for me, when I just all read this shit, and I just don't want to go through 2 hours worth of reading the same shit over again. You know what I mean? That's why Akase would notice something like finding a core in the trash and having an excess amount of trash. Okay. However, the timing was strange. I learned that this memo had been discovered after I found that core or something. Okay. Memo used the tape at the same width as the core.
So are you saying that Dazai prepared the memo himself and used the tape to hide it in his room? And he made it look like it was written by a past cast member. And then he threw that core into the trash because he used up the tape completely.
Yeah, he thought about disposing of it after waking up, but because I came to his room early, he had no time to throw it away. Isn't that a bit of a stretch? Akase, you happen to find that trash, but there isn't any proof. In response, hard evidence was presented. Akase placed a pen, memo pad, and tape on the table. This was in the library's reception area. Tape was gone, and I brought the backup from under the desk. I think this was Dazai, not Hazai, but okay. Hazai went to touch the evidence. I don't know who Hazai is or how he got here, but he stuck the new tape to the table. Next to that, he taped a torn off bit of memo paper. Oh, Haiji, not Hazai. That says Hazai. That's not even like they spelled Haiji slightly wrong. It's they spelled Dazai with an H, but they meant Haiji. That's just... Was that like that the last... Anyway. It's the same width and the same material. The pen and memo were the same next to each other. It was obvious. The pen and ink are identical. Okay. The paper and ink, sorry.
I see. The stationery and tape from the library was used to write that memo. But where's the proof that Dazai did it?
The room felt quiet. Everyone must have been nervous. Either Dazai was lying or he wasn't. And it was Akase who was trying to expose the lie despite being the one who professed to believe in others. I don't have proof. That's why I kept quiet about it. It worried me, but I wanted to believe in Dazai. I thought he was a good guy. Can we skip this shit yet? Ugh. I don't know why it bothers me so much, but it does. However, this memo itself appeared to be a warning and a piece of advice for all of us. Matter of fact, because of the memo, Sana got her voice back and we learned how to use the bouncer. That's right. It was when I saw the memo that we did the reenactment of the drama. That's why you can say that I was saved by that memo. I mean, that might be slightly different, but as I initially said, I'm starting to be more and more confused as we act in the dramas. Who can I continue to trust? Do we have to discern out who we can really trust? That's why I went to Dazai's room and I asked him to write the same words that were written on the memo. So you compared the handwriting. But that's something that could easily be manipulated by writing differently. That's something I'm okay with, but I wanted him to prove to me whether it was a lie or the truth. However, Dazai refused to write. He refused to write a single word down. Everyone waited for Dazai to speak, but he didn't say a word. Maybe he did write it previously. It was written by a previous participant. Me, Dazai! He stayed quiet and refused to look at anyone. I'll ask you one more time. Did you write this memo? If it was you, why'd you lie by telling us that it was written by someone else before giving it to us? Moreover, how'd you know the information that was on the memo in the first place? How'd you know that the sponsors in this world and that the bouncer will answer any of our questions? You're either a previous participant or you're the sponsor. You wouldn't know that information otherwise. Unless you're the producer. The room was still and quiet. I didn't know how long the silence lasted. Maybe we don't bring up the prior participant thing. Maybe he just straight up admits it this time. I couldn't say anything. I didn't have anything to say because nothing Akase said was wrong. Akase's deduction made sense, and I could understand how he arrived at this conclusion. Akase is losing his patience. He wants to believe in someone so much that he's now trying to verify it, and it's... Akase decided to corner someone. Come on, are you still not going to say anything? And now that I think about it, May never got a punishment game, and he's always so calm about everything. He completes the dramas like it's nothing and is average at everything, so it doesn't attract attention. I don't want to hear that from you. You tried to stir up trouble and tried to defend the producer, too. Did I? So cooperative with everyone. I just can't believe that you're the traitor. That maybe you have your reasons. Again, we called it out last time. Shigasaki has his reasons.
If there is a reason, now's the time to talk about it. Dazai, we cannot come to any decision if you remain quiet. Even if it's only part of it. Can you tell us your reasons for this? Oh, brother. If you just stay tight-lipped, we'll just end up even more suspicious that you're the producer. But if Big Bro Dazai's the producer, what will you do? Bully him? No, not that. If there's no mistake that he's the producer, and then we'll accuse him of it. Those are the rules.
Yeah, if we can point out the producer hiding among the cast, we're supposed to be able to go back to our world.
Oh, right. So we don't have to work to save up points. He can go back right away.
Huh. Is it that simple? But that doesn't mean that Dazai's actually the producer. I still don't believe that Dazai's the producer and that memo was just a piece of advice. I don't still believe that Dazai's the producer. That memo was a piece of advice. Okay, 2 sentences, but I read them weird. But anyway.
And just tell us what's going on. We suspect something's wrong because you insist on hiding it. Besides, if I was the producer, I'd be as kind to everyone as possible without arousing suspicion.
If I were the producer, I'd pretend I was 12, so everybody thinks I'm a fucking idiot and don't know jack shit, while I'm actually puppeteering you. Maybe. It's true, but... Hold on. If we're talking about secrets, then someone else has been hiding something crucial. Huh? There's a shop on that shopping street that has a lot of antiques. I saw certain... Okay, Ibana's arm. Okay. This is the exact same motherfucking thing, except for we didn't find the custody list. Like, it's driving me crazy because they could have brought up the custody something so you could skip and, like, not have to do the whole fucking thing again. It drives me crazy having to read the same thing on repeat because I can't skip it. We had the same fucking conversation. The exact same motherfucking conversation. Like, I don't, like, it's ridiculous. What thing? Mostly touched his bangle to flip the screen so everyone could see it. And this is... Is this fake? It looks so detailed, I can't tell it apart from the real thing. The case has a plate with a name on it, Ibana's. You're right. Everyone turned to look at Ibana's arm. Ibana wore his glove on his left hand. Even when he's cooking, he never removed it, he just wore a plastic glove. Okay. Yochiover wears gloves all the time, too. They didn't say anything, and it wasn't worth mentioning. It just couldn't stop thinking about it.
Ibana, can you take off that glove for us?
Ibana didn't seem reluctant as he slowly removed the glove. Oh. Underneath that glove was a prosthetic. It looked like a human arm, but I could instantly tell it was made of metal. Ibana's left arm's a prosthetic, and that shop also had a left hand that looks like the real thing. It also had Ibana's name on it. What does this all mean? Ibana apparently has connections to Arcadia in some shape or form. Don't you think you should explain yourself? Okay, well, the only good thing about reading this again is because Ibana will be like, no, Dazai wasn't here before. Because we brought up the custody list, Dazai's name's on it, but supposedly Gyoba's like, oh no, Ibana said Dazai wasn't here, and I don't remember if he said he was or wasn't, but... Oh no. He might have, because he doesn't remember him. Right, I think he did. Anyway, Ibana sighed before beginning to answer Tomose's questions. I'll be quick with this. I'm a participant of the previous Otherworld stream. I'm one of the 9. The atmosphere changed in the living room. People gasped, looked confused, or nodded. But most of us were genuinely surprised and waited for Ibana to continue. And while we looked down, Ibana put his glove back on before continuing his explanation. Although in this scenario, the only difference is Gyobu doesn't look sus for, like... What was Gyobu sus for in the last one? Like, oh, lying about the custody list. Like, no, I don't remember seeing it. And we're like, what? Like... Because he was trying to cover for Ibana, you know what I mean? But, like, in this case, we never found the custody list, so he doesn't have to lie, so why is he going to get booted out with the other 2? So, anyway. And when we looked down, Ibana put his glove back on before continuing. Okay. What you saw at the shop was a replica of an arm that's the function of my arm. The rules changed when the stream started, so it's a bit different now. But in the previous punishment game, replicas were placed there. You lost an arm or a leg, it'd be placed there, but once we reenacted the drama to get it back, it vanished from the shop. They enjoyed displaying stolen body parts. It was disgusting.
I see. Ibana, you did appear to know about the circumstances here, so you really are a participant from the previous stream. Why didn't you tell us until now?
Why should I have told you? I don't want to talk about it. You think you can get away with that? You were lying to us. Tomose, shut the fuck up, or I will defend Ibana to my last breath. I warned you. I told you that everyone's the enemy here and not to trust in everyone. Or trust in anyone. So what if I am a previous participant? It doesn't mean I know the producer. Just better versed in the rules.
And if we knew that beforehand, we would have had things that we wanted to ask you.
Then ask me now. I'll answer the things that I can. And we go through and ask him questions. Okay, we know this. Then I have a question right now. Akase was quiet the whole time, but he sounded harsh when he asked his question. Is Daze a previous participant? You know if you were members of the same cast. Okay, so we did. I don't know why, like... I feel like... No, because I mean, like, I feel like Ibana said no, even though his name was in the list. But then there was something that came up in Gyobu's route, like, oh, Ibana didn't say anything. But it was like... But he did say... I don't remember. Anyway, doesn't matter. No, Dazai isn't one of the previous cast members. He is, but everyone forgot him. We know this. I'm at a loss for words. Everyone must have felt the same way. Some looked down in disappointment, while others glanced at Dazai.
But is it possible that he participated in even one before you? And that's not possible. I checked all of the past episodes of the Otherworld stream and checked everyone's faces. If it's someone I recognize, I would notice. Dazai wasn't among them. Moreover, the past cast members should all be dead. Oh well, we got an error when I tried to see the drama from the previous stream, so I couldn't confirm that one.
Just the previous stream?
Yes, for some reason only the dramas from the previous stream were affected. Someone must have messed with it.
Because... we know who they knew the producer, and if, well, Haiji claims his name and face changes even though he was, I think he added himself. That page wasn't there. So, you know what I mean? He put that in there to get us to trust him, not Gyobu, but anyway. So May wasn't a cast member from way in the past or the previous one. And the thing is, Gyobu doesn't remember him either, so. Then how does he know about the sponsor or how the bouncer works? That sure is interesting. Curious as to why he keeps his mouth shut. Yeah, we don't like splitting hairs to get at people, but if you want to go that route, I have something to say. You also knew about this for a while. Told us in a suggestive way. Why'd you do that? We asked for your reason and you changed the subject. If you want to say Dazai's suspicious, the same can be said for you. Oh, you figured me out. Yeah, I guess I'm suspicious too. I totally understand. I'm reading it fast because I'm tired of reading the exact same shit. The only thing that's different is the custody list. But once we get past that point of when they bring up, all of this should fucking skip. So it's kind of fucking annoying that it won't. I mean, I don't know if we're past bringing up the custody list, but... Is that all you can say? Answer us. I am answering you. I'm not a previous participant. Isn't that right, Kay? Yeah. That makes it all the more strange, then. How'd you know that information? All the more strange? Well, what do you know? Well, what do you... Oh, well, what do you do now? You got 2 suspicious characters. Come on.
If we suspect 2 people, then we can't accuse anyone of being the producer. There's only one producer.
Maybe the other is the sponsor. Either way, it's difficult to point out the correct person. Although they didn't say Haiji was sus this time, so... Wait, we can't be certain yet that the 2 of them are the traitors. But they're the most suspicious. As long as they don't bring any counter evidence, it'll stay that way. Yeah, but I didn't know how to argue against that. Everyone already made up their minds. It was moving to the worst case scenario. See, I kind of feel like if you're only going to make Gyobu and Dazai sus in this and not Haiji, then it should have been reversed, and it should have been Dazai, then Gyobu, because then you get the addition of Haiji being sus, and it extends. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Oh! Dazai CG. We didn't get this last time. Akase getting all accosty with him. Are you grabbing my boyfriend's shirt? How dare you, sir? Dazai quietly looked up and then finally exchanged glances with Akase.
That's not your conclusion.
If it's wrong, talk to us. Tell us what you're thinking. Tell us the truth. I don't think we saw the CG before, but whatever.
I have nothing to say.
That's bull. If you won't talk about anything, if you can't tell the truth, then then don't say you were on our side in the first place. Why did I trust you? Akase was close to attacking Dazai, but Iochi stopped him. It's just that we're no longer on the same side. We can't believe in each other. Please don't say it like that. For some reason, I couldn't bring myself to blame Dazai. Either he's lying or he's just not telling the truth. I don't feel like rebuking him for that. We had this line, though. Can't do it. I still want to believe in everyone. I don't want to see us arguing while at each other's throats. I don't want to know who the traitor is. I don't want to know. Everyone yelled at each other about who could be trusted and who couldn't. That was all that was being talked about. I didn't want to hear any of it, but none of us knew the truth, and everyone was guessing. So why? If we can't accuse, then what do we do? Don't tell me we're just gonna go back to how it was, like nothing happened. That would be impossible. And then how about we do a quarantine? Huh? Quarantine, don't you understand? We'll live somewhere else. You're saying we can't be together, right? Wait, do you even understand the situation you're in? I sure do. I'm also a traitor, right? So you quarantine May and me, got it? Maybe, but it's just... Talking about living elsewhere, but do you have someplace to go? Of course I do. I know just the place. And the entrance and exits are limited, so you can also keep surveillance on us. See, now this is where it's different, so I do feel like Dazai should have been first. Because, like, Gyobu... I mean, I guess it really depends if Dazai... Look, if we had a thing with Dazai, you know, and that's the thing we can't remember, I do feel like then Gyobu should have been first because it makes it less painful. You do Gyobu and you're like, what's that thing? And then you go down Dazai and you're like, oh god, wait! We left it for... Oh no! And then it feels... Then you're like, okay, at least we're here now, right? But if that's not the case, then it's like... You do Dazai because it's just him and Gyobu that get quarantined. And then in Gyobu's, it's like, oh wait, now we're bringing Haiji, because Haiji got way more suspicious in Gyobu's route. And it seems like he's going to be kind of like pushed off into a corner in Dazai's route right now. So like, you know, Gyobu's leads into Haiji's better, I think, but depending on what Dazai's thing is, I don't know. We'll see anyway. Surveillance.
Gyobu, it sounds like you're planning something, if I'm being honest. Everything's too convenient.
Huh? That's not true. It just happened to be that way. Speaking of people getting their way, Gyobu squinted and then called out Haiji's name. Oh no, here we go. I still can't believe that Haiji's entirely safe here.
Me?
Why? Haiji. So this is going the same way. Because it's way too suspicious. Why won't anyone say anything? Do you seriously think he looks like a grade schooler? See, okay, Gyobu right there. I mean, again, we probably noticed this last time. Even if he is a grade schooler, he's too calm. If he was bawling about wanting to go home, I'd find it much more believable. He's too ignorant regarding kanji characters, and he has no common sense. It's just weird. He's never taken a punishment game. He completes the dramas just right, and he has no problems living here. Are you sure you're not just pretending to not know while actually knowing everything? Yobu! What? That's just your imagination. Do you have any proof of that? Shut up, girl. He's right. Nope. It's my gut feeling. Keep calm and trust Gyobu's gut feeling, okay? You don't have to go that far in a gut feeling. Yes, he does.
Well, I don't think he's completely wrong. I've never seen him once say he wants to go home.
It almost seemed like he was enjoying this world in some ways. He frequents that ice cream vendor. This is all the same. But just for that? I'm sorry if I'm not doing this enthusiastically. I hate reading the same shit. I've said this 15 times, so you hate hearing it, but goddamn, it's killing me. It's okay, big sis. I had a feeling it was being suspected. I don't care if they are. Okay, but... Okay, going somewhere else. He's going with them. Okay, we're going... Okay, I want to skip. I can't. It's driving me fucking bonkers. We're wasting time. Like, I want to get to different things, not the same fucking shit I just read like 3 days ago. Okay, for me, it was probably like 4 or 5 days ago. Might have been maybe a week. But it really was less than a week ago for me. And it was literally like a couple days ago for... Like, it's just... Like, it's the same shit. Especially at this point. We are now past the custody list. There is no reason we can't be fucking skipping this. No fucking reason. Anyway, we're all going our separate ways. It's wrong. And then Tomose's like, staying in this place, living somewhere else isn't a big deal. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Everyone's going. Okay. Yada, yada, get out. You're going right now. You're planning on taking your stuff. They're going to get their stuff. Okay, the 3 of them left the living room. We're friendly, but oh my god, we can't be together. What are you going to do? Oh my god. Kase stood in front of... Okay. I didn't want to fight like this. The producer, yeah, he reaped what he sowed. What's the point of fighting? Okay, hold on. Yeah. Check on them. Am I the crazy one here? Don't let it get to you so much. Okay, so this is exactly the motherfucking same. Okay, so we asked, Ibana, you sure Dazai and Gyobu weren't in the previous stream? Pushed you away. You really don't understand. I told you everyone's the enemy, blah, blah, blah. He leaves. I'm alone. What am I feeling? It's a muddy mess. Okay. This is Arcadia, common sense. Okay, I feel like it should skip when we hit the... Okay, can we please? Okay, now we can skip. All right. It's just that whole fucking scene, like 98% of it's the same. And I don't want to be stuck reading the exact same shit. The only difference was the custody list. But, like, I don't think we needed... Like, I don't know. I feel like they could have had another character find a custody list. You know what I mean? Or, again, it's 1 or 2 lines. The whole other thing, like, it would make more sense if, like... this was skippable because technically you've read it, but they made it as like 2 totally different things. As opposed to, let's say you did this one first, right? The difference is in Gyobu's, there's a couple of lines about the custody list in Dazai. Actually, you know what? That cuts out a hell of a lot more conversations, like, when we go there than it does. Because now we're choosing Dazai. I feel like we had a lot more in Gyobu's route. A lot more going there talking to everyone than we did You know what I mean? But, so that's interesting. He said he would protect me, like, anyway. Well, maybe, actually, no, you know what it is? Maybe it's because after this we choose Gyobu and then we go down a bunch of... So maybe this is going to be different now. I felt like we had a lot more crossover. A lot more in Chapter 8. Maybe it's after we did the... But I thought we had a lot more in the common route, this split, before we made a choice. But anyway, Dazai. That was the weirdest laugh. Anyway, what?
You really adapt quickly. This isn't something you should shoulder alone. It was bound to happen to someone eventually. It just so happens it was you, Sena. That's not your conclusion.
If it's wrong, talk to us. Tell us what you're thinking. Tell us the truth.
I have nothing to say.
He may have appeared aloof, but he was kind. He was too kind. I never saw him blame anyone. Why? He believed in everyone? Then why did he lie about how he didn't write that memo? Do we know that he did? Why would he wait until now to tell me to remember? Is he the traitor? I don't know. Which one do we choose? I think we're going to choose this one. I don't know anything. Okay, so then we're talking to Iochi. Okay, so like now we get to skip. This is where we're grouped together. We're going to have moments where we go off on our own, probably with Dazai, because we've... You know what I mean? So maybe we did choose... Because we did have moments with Dazai, Haiji, and Gyobu in the common thing. Oh, now we're... Hide. What's that? What's that? What was that? It's glitching. Like, it was like a blocked. So now we're full on in Dazai's route. So, cool. After Dazai was quarantined, we were missing one member of the information team, so we suspended the team meetings. It was the first time in a while that the team had gathered together. I do feel like there was more in Gyobu's route of going back over there, but maybe it was once we hit Gyobu's route, and I just feel like ending the common route took longer. But again, I don't feel like we really needed to read that whole fucking accusing scene again. We've already read it. And I don't know if it would have been different if you did Dazai's route first, then you did Gyobu. Would it skip everything but pop out when you mentioned the custody list? Because that's the only thing that's different. You know what I mean?
It feels a bit lonely with just the three of us.
Yeah, and we're in a different room.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean anything weird by it.
That's alright. Let's start with the investigation reports. We didn't sound motivated, but Akase led the way. We switched from Dazai's to Akase's room. We lost a team member, so we only had 3. The team meeting was a bit quieter than usual. We don't have much to report in the first place. The team gathered all sorts of information to find a way to return to our world, and we'd already researched everything that we could. We were also tasked with seeing if we could find changes to our side after quarantining those 3.
There aren't any changes for now.
It has been crazy here. It's been like fucking, like, Bird Central outside, like, all day. Like, little, not like, little blackbirds. They're like little itty bitty small crows, but they're not crows or ravens. They're just very tiny. They're just blackbirds. I'm like, why is my brain blanking on what these little fuckers are called? They're just little. You know, not big. And then robins, fucking robins everywhere. Hordes of robins. It's crazy. My bird's been going nuts all day, which is actually nice because tiny bird. I don't think I said it in this. My tiny bird's not doing so good. He's got like something wrong with his feet. He can't quite grip sometimes. I don't know if it's like arthritis or whatever, but also every once in a while, he just falls. He just falls. He'll be sitting on a flat perch and he just all of a sudden hear a little thunk. He just fell. I don't know what's happening. And I don't know if he's having little seizures because every once in a while, like, he'll stretch his wings out and then he kind of twitches a little. And it's like, he's not like super seizing, but he's definitely, like, something's wrong. Like, he's not doing great. He's actually been doing okay for the last 2 days, but compared to the couple days before that. But, you know, he went from like one foot seemed a little wonky to like, now he just falls over a lot. And it's like, but he's doing better. But like, him seeing the birds and my one bird going crazy and chirping to the birds outside, and then he starts chirping. He's got the tiny, quietest little peep, but he was chirping and trying to talk, and it was like, look, you're trying so hard, little guy. He's trying. He's on the struggle bus, and I don't think he's gonna like It's not like, oh, oh, we hurt him, so he'll get over it. I don't think he's going to get over it. I think he's just, unfortunately, like, he's on his way out, which is sad to say, but, like, he's trying his best, and he still has his sprightly little moments, so that's good. It's just, it's kind of 50-50. Half the time it's very difficult for him, and he just kind of lays there. And you're like, are you? And you're like, okay, you're breathing. Because it's just like, he's laying there like he's dead. He's just got the dead bird pose, and you're like, okay, no, he's still breathing, and he just kind of struggles. But then sometimes he's like, fine, and he still eats and drinks, and he can still perch sometimes. Like, so it's just, it's like, he's just, I'm like, he's like me. Sometimes we just black out, bird. Like, it's okay. But like, watching him, like, when my other bird getting excited about the birds and him seeing the other birds and trying to like talk to them and chirp, it was like, no, well, you're trying so hard, little buddy. Anyway, just want to share. But it's been crazy with birds out there, like motherfucker. Like, probably because it was like rainy. So, like, but the robin, we have like berry bushes outside the windows, but they're like, there's like a horde of them, and then all the birds. I'm like, and then I swear I heard geese. It's like, Jesus, it's like Bird Central Station out there today. Like, you normally see like a flock every once in a while, but this was like, they were everywhere. And I'm like, this is bizarre, but I like it. Anyway, there aren't any changes for now. As Chigasaki said, we didn't observe any changes. Our food supply, the responses to our requests, and all other things appear to be the same. So the sponsor isn't among those three? Or does being quarantined not affect the sponsor's work? Akase was thinking out loud, and neither Chigasaki nor I could answer him. Chigasaki can. Look, Chigasaki's sweating! There's no point in trying to rush to an answer. Let's just take our time. Yeah, I thought the producer would be one of those three at the very least. The producer is one of those three at the very least. And I'm assuming it's Haiji, still. Otherwise, what was the point of all this? The situation was still dire, but we concluded our meeting then and there. I returned to my own room and considered what Akase had said. I know we're almost at time, but I'll go a little bit. Because I bitched a lot. You had to listen to me complain about reading that scene and like whatever, but it took a long time. It was a long time we didn't need to be there. So, he thinks the producer is one of those three. I should continue to believe. I have to trust myself, just like Dazai said. It'll just feel draining to continuously have to follow what others are thinking. I should stop trying to blame someone. That was when I made up my mind. I decided to find the producer my own way. The most suspicious member is Tomose. I like how it's like the most suspicious member, and you see Tomose, and you're like, what? She's narrowing it down, but it's like, huh? Tomose definitely isn't the producer. We've been together since childhood, and we're in school together every day. I always know what he's up to. Yeah, also. If he were doing something as major as being the producer of the Otherworld stream, there's no way I wouldn't notice. I don't know, you didn't notice he was in love with you, so I don't think that's valid. True, she's absolutely right, but you didn't notice he's in love with you, so... Kase, he's cheerful and acts like our leader. He has a strong sense of justice, and I don't think he's the kind of to betray or lie to others, absolutely. I believe he's the kind of person who would never allow himself to lie or betray others. Chigasaki, every time there's a fight going on, he usually reacts to it in the same way as I do. He's a gentle and kind-hearted soul. That's not the only reason why, but I believe him. Someone who doesn't want to hurt others can't be the producer. He is the sponsor, though, but again, we understand his reasons, so... Doesn't mean she's wrong about him being kind and gentle. Ibana has a sharp tongue and a bad attitude, but that's just who he is. But he's not someone who would hurt others to get what he wants. He provided info on past cast members, too, so I doubt he's the producer. And also, hurt others to get what he wants. He's not someone who would hurt others to get what he wants. I kind of like that they specifically worded that way, because we know that's just who he is. Well, it is who he is, but we know the reason why he is what he is. And the reason why is someone who hurt him in order to get what she wanted. So I like that they phrased it this way. Because it's true. He would not do to other people what that woman did to him. You know what I mean? She hurt him to get what she wanted. He's not going to do the same type of a thing. Utami is always kind and reliable, but I wouldn't know what to say if I were asked why I believe in him. However, there's nothing suspicious about him, and the other three are definitely suspicious. Okay, I can't fault her for this, because when we got Futami's route, again, arguably earlier than I would have liked, it was like, I definitely didn't see, and only in Gilba's route was Futami ever looking kind of sus. Every other thing else, he's just never around. You know what I mean? Like, actually, wasn't in Chikasaki's where he started, like, probing and doing proby questions and stuff like that, but it's like, they're totally innocuous, and without knowing he's a sponsor, you'd be like, alright. Yeah, he's just asking questions. Like, they purposely kept him out of your line of sight for a lot of the game, you know? Iochi is intelligent and the most proactive about learning the truth. However, being so smart, if Iochi's the one who's lying, I think I'd be tricked easily. But then why would Iochi be so focused on learning the truth? Keeping quiet would be best. Yeah. No one was fully in the clear. No one was particularly suspicious either. That narrows it down to those three. You should think about those three, but what about Dazai? I hope it's not Dazai. I noticed someone walking toward me and looked up. You're back. Tomose went up the stairs and called out to me. While I sat and thought, I realized that Tomose and I hadn't talked in a while. Oh god, is Tomose gonna get douchey? We argued and had a fight. Yeah, we just finished the team meeting. We maintained a greater distance than usual, and Tomose seemed hesitant to speak. Good for him. Stay that way. There was an awkward silence. What did we talk about previously? Can't really remember anymore, but there wasn't much to talk about, but I knew why Tomose still stood there. We're childhood friends, after all. For the longest time, we've had different perspectives about things. That's why I think you've been such a great help. Tomose, you always notice things that I can't catch. And that's because... Sorry about the other day. It went too far. Even if your way of thinking is different than mine, there's no reason for me to blame you. And that's something I should be saying. It's my fault too, and I was the one who couldn't accept your point of view. Did he just have growth as a human being? Are we gonna... Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. I should try to avoid hurting you or getting into arguments. I think we're both getting desperate. Can we just leave it at that? It wasn't a good situation to be in. We've lived in this other world for so long that our sensibilities are getting messed up. We normally don't get into fights like that. Yeah. Although he seemed reluctant, he still agreed. I can see that he's listening to what I have to say. I'll always believe in you, Tomose, but please let me believe in others too. It won't be everyone. I'll make sure to come to the right decision. I'll think about it carefully and come to my own conclusion. I can't read. But also, they can't type. This one was fine. This was me. The prior one was them. So I hope you'll just let me do this. All right. Still reluctant, he nodded in agreement. Okay. All right, Tomose, you're back on the... You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're okay. You're a little douchey first with Dazai in the beginning. The last part, like, bro, back off. But, like, now you're being okay. You're not being psycho. Not like in Gyobu's row. Again, they wrote to Tomose like, dude, Gyobu's sus as fuck. What are you doing, girl? I mean, valid. Even I thought he was sus as fuck. But, like, I was like, oh, I'm into it. Whatever. But not okay to be gropey, accosty, and, like, tell me I should only trust you and be a psycho like you were. You could have been like, I just want you to be careful, because I just don't think Gyobu's trustworthy. Like, I know you trust him, but, like, girl, come on. Come on. You know? That's all you had to say. You had to be a friend, not a psycho. But you were a psycho, which, I mean, right now he's being okay. I smiled with relief, and Tomose turned around to go to his room. I'm glad we can talk again. My emotions were completely messed up, and it felt like a tangled ball of yarn had unraveled into a straight line. I mean, there are moments where I feel bad for Tomose because he's, like, totally in love with this girl, and she's, like, never gonna notice you. Ever. But, like, you gotta work on that, bro. Like, that's not on me. You gotta manage your expectations. I get it hurts, and you're, like, you got these angsty emotions inside, but simmer the fuck down, Tomose. Jesus. So, anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.